Shalom. I'm just waiting on a few people to get on here, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm waiting on y'all to come on with it. Because this needs to be addressed, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't get it, man, you know. I see you out. Okay. A lot of people don't get it, you know. Today is not the Sabbath. It is not the Sabbath day, nor is it the Day of Atonement. The Day of Atonement was last month and about a week ago. Okay? But because Israel don't keep time the way they're supposed to keep, they're always off. We got a bunch of brothers out here that think they every Saturday they're keeping the Sabbath. They think they're keeping the Sabbath when they're not keeping the Sabbath. That means all this time you have not kept one Sabbath day except for the Sabbath days that ended up falling on a Saturday. Other than that, you have not been keeping the Sabbath because you think that every Saturday is the Sabbath because you think the seventh day is Saturday. According to Esau, yeah, the seventh day is Saturday. But according to the Most High, the seventh day don't have a name to it. It is called the seventh day for a reason. Okay? It's called the seventh day for a reason. Okay? How do you get to the seventh day? You get to the seventh day by the new moon. The new moon means new month. It's considered the first day of the month. The new moon is the beginning of the month. It's day one of the month. So if you count 6 days from the new moon, it will equal a Sabbath. Okay? The new moon is also the Sabbath because it's the 7th day. Okay? Now I'm gonna give it to you like this. If the new moon is the beginning of the month, it's the first day of the month, right? If you count backwards 6 days, it's gonna be the Sabbath. Okay? If you go forward back to that first day, it's still gonna be the Sabbath. Okay? I'm gonna break it down to you in scripture. See, this is what Saturday, see, people who keep the Sabbath on Saturday, they can't prove it through scripture. They're not gonna never be able to prove it through scripture. I'm gonna save your life right now. I'm gonna give you brothers some life that don't have it. Because the time is getting short and the days is they're getting near to this destruction. Y'all see what's going on. You better get on track, man. If you can't do something simple as keep the Sabbath, follow the instructions that Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai gave you, then something is wrong. So I'm going to get started. First and foremost, I want to give all honor and praise to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. I want to give double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. And I like to also give honors to the Akim that's out here pushing his truth and sincerity to the four corners. And to all of y'all, I'm telling you, Shalom. Now, we're going to deal with this Sabbath day thing. We're going to kill it. We're going to put it to bed once and for all about the truth about the Sabbath. Okay? Today is not the Sabbath. Saturday is not the Sabbath. Okay? It is not the Sabbath. Stop it. This is not the Day of Atonement. Stop it. If you calculated time the way Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai said calculate the time in Genesis 1, you would know that the day is not the Day of Atonement, nor is it the Sabbath. Okay, we're going to start right here, man. I'm going to wait for y'all to get y'all scriptures together. Go to Genesis 1 and 3. Genesis 1 and 3, and I'm going to wait. I'm going to give you a couple seconds, and I'm going to wait. All right. Okay, this is Genesis 1 and 3. And it said, and Yahweh said, let there be light. And there was light. And Yahweh saw the light, that it was good. And Yahweh divided the light from the darkness. And Yahweh called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day. So let's break that down. Okay, we're going to break down every part of this. We're not going to leave no stone unturned. Okay? He said, let there be light. And there was light. And he saw the light. And he saw that it was good. And what did he do after that? He divided the light from the darkness. Right? And the light he called day. And the darkness he called night. Right? Okay, we got that understanding. Okay. Now. And after he did that, he separated the day. He took day and he divided it and he separated from the night. Okay? And it said, and the evening and the morning were the next day. So this is why At sundown, we honor this. We honor the day being over with at sundown, because he said when it becomes evening, when it becomes dark, that's the end of that day and the beginning of another day. So he said the evening, which is nighttime, and the morning was the next day. So all the sunlight, whenever it's light outside, when that light goes away and the night creeps in, that day over with. Okay? Now the white man calendar, it doesn't work that way. The white man, Esau, the calendar that we go by, this Gregorian calendar, he says he don't give a fuck when it get dark or when it get light. He said his day is over with at 12 a.m. So that's throwing out time right there. Okay? So that's showing you that he's not calculating time according to the way Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua said to calculate the time. Now, let's keep going. Now we're gonna keep going, and we're just gonna show you. I'm gonna prove to you right now that the evening and the morning was the next day. So that was the first day. And here goes the second day. The second day says, and Yahweh said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And Yahweh made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And Yahweh called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day. So he rested at the end of that day when that light was gone, when there was no more light in the day, and it became night. That day was over with, and he was done, and he started again when the light came. So he's showing you right here that that's why everybody bringing Sabbath from sundown to sundown, because they know the evening and the morning was the next day. Okay, now this is the part that I don't get. If you know the evening and the morning was the next day, why would you use Esau's calendar to calculate the Sabbath day? How you think if the Most High saying it's 12 hours in a day basically, and Esau saying it's 24 hours in a day, how do you think you're gonna calculate the feast days and the Sabbath days correctly if the days if the times are being calculated differently? How is it that you think that you're gonna come up with the right day? Okay, let's go down some. And Yahweh said, let there be lights. Now this is Genesis 1 and 14. And Yahweh said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night. And let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years. And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. And it was so. And Yahweh made two great lights. The greater light to rule the day, that's the sun, and the lesser light to rule the night, which is the moon. And he made the stars also. And Yahweh set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And Yahweh saw that it was good, and the evening and the morning was the fourth day. So all throughout his creation, all throughout till he get to the seventh day, you're going to always hear him end it off with, and the evening and the morning was the fifth day, or the sixth day, or the seventh day, or the next day. You're going to hear him say that, because he's showing you over and over again that when it becomes dark, that's the end of that day and the beginning of another day. Okay, so can we all agree that when it get dark, day is over with? Because he said he called the light day, and the darkness he called night. So if the day is gone, then the day is over with, right? That means it's night now, because the nights came in. So can we agree upon the fact that when the light is gone, that it's not day no more, it's nighttime? Okay, now we can agree upon that. Now, so that day is over with. But Esau said, fuck that. The day is over with at 12 a.m. He don't give a fuck whether the day is gone or not, whether the light is gone from the sky or not. He said he don't give a fuck. He's going to calculate time the way he wants to calculate time. And he did this because he wanted to go against God. He wanted to go against the Most High. And I'm gonna give you a precept just to show you. And but before I give you that, matter of fact, yeah, I'm going to give you that precept. I'm going to give you that precept right now. I think it's in the book of Isaiah. And let me see. I think it is in the book of Isaiah. Okay, okay, it says, this is Isaiah 66 and 23. And it says, and it shall come to pass that from one new moon, which is what you got to go by, which is how you know it's the beginning of a month, because the new moon represents a new month. Basically, new moon just means new month. So, when you look up the lunar schedule and you see that the new moon is approaching, you know it's about to be the beginning of a new month. So on the new moon, on the night of the new moon, if the new moon falls before evening, if it falls while it's still light outside, that means that at evening, that's the first day of the month. So you can count that day as one day, and 6 days from that day is the day of rest. Is the Sabbath day. It's the seventh day. And it's not going to be on Saturday. It's going to be on whatever day that it falls on, you know, because the Most High don't use Esau calendar. We didn't have a calendar back then keeping the Sabbath. We used just what he said. The scriptures just told you about what the moon is going to be used for. He said, let the lights in the firmament of the heaven divide the day from the night. Okay? And it said, and they shall be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years. And this is how we was calculating time. The months, the days, the seasons, the years. It all went by the sun, the rising of the sun, and the new moon cycle, the lunar schedule. Okay? Now, this is Isaiah 66 and 23. It said, and it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, and from one Sabbath to another, shall all flesh come to worship before me, saith the Lord. So the new moon is the Sabbath. It's always the Sabbath. Anytime you look in the Bible, any scripture that says Sabbath day is going to say new moon next to it. Always. If you see new moon, you're going to see Sabbath right next to it. Okay? Now y'all honoring the Day of Atonement. You know, y'all honoring the Passover. All of these days fall on a Sabbath day. They always fall on a Sabbath day. All the feast days. Now ask yourself, any of y'all that have kept any of the high holy days, how many of y'all have kept y'all high holy days and it fell on a new moon? It's going to always fall on the new moon. Always. If you go back and look, if your elders telling you that y'all got a feast day coming up and it don't fall on the new moon according to what the Bible says it's supposed to fall on the new moon, he's going off. He's not calculating the time right. Okay? Every high holy day falls on a new moon. Every rip. A Sabbath day. And it says, and it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, and from one Sabbath to another, shall all flesh come to worship before me, saith the Lord. So these are the days of rest. Now I'm going to give you something else. This is 2 Kings 4:22. It says, now this is a lady whose son had died. And she wanted to, you know, on the Sabbath days, we teach and we preach on the Sabbath days, right? Just like today. The Most High said there's no new thing under the sun. So this is why we still do these things today. Let me tell you what the lady said. She said, this is 2 Kings 4:22. She said, send me, I pray thee, one of the young men and one of the asses, that I may run to the man of Yahweh and come again. You know, because she wanted to try to because her son had fell dead, you know, and she wanted to go and have this man prayed over, you know, because this is how we do. So, and the man told her, he said, wherefore wilt thou go him today? It is neither new moon nor Sabbath. And she said, it shall be well. So the man was basically telling her, why are you trying to go today? They not going to be out there preaching. The men of the Lord ain't going to be out there preaching today because it's not new moon or Sabbath. neither day. New moon is the beginning of the month. The Sabbath day is just the Sabbath day. And here's Daniel 7:25. And this is what Esau's doing right now. This is telling you what he did, why people are messed up on the Sabbath days. And this is really significant. And it says, this is Daniel 7:25, if y'all want to go to it. And it says, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, and he shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws. So he's already changed all the laws. Every law that Esau's got right now is opposite of the laws of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. All of them. He changed everything. And he changed time. We see that already, because we said the evening and the morning is the next day. But Esau say 12 a.m. is the next day. So I'm going to repeat that and I'm going to keep going. And it says, and he shall think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and the dividing of time. So basically what the Most High is telling you is that this devil was going to change the way we tell time. You know what I'm saying? He was going to change all the laws that he laid down for the land. He said, and he's going to be given the power to do this for a little while. Okay? So it said, and it shall be given into his hand until the time and the times and the dividing the times. And then it says, but the judgment shall sit. Now what's the judgment? The judgment is that Esau is going to be destroyed utterly. And Israel is going to come back and take control of this planet, could take control of this world and this kingdom, and this is going to be the kingdom of heaven. And we're going to rule again. We just got to be patient and endure to the end. So this is what the Most High said. He said, but the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away his dominion. So Esau not going to have his dominion. This is just he just got this power to do this just for a second. So they're going to take away his dominion to consume and to destroy unto the end, because that's what he's doing. And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High. And that's the Israelites, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom. So once we go back into rulership, we're going to stay in rulership. Ain't going to be no more of that. And all dominion shall serve and obey us. And that's what the Most High said. So he only got he's got the ability to do this shit right now. But but because of our disobedience, this is why he's given a chance and given the time to do this shit. Okay? Now, I'm going to go to Numbers 28 and 10. It says, and I'm going to show you that every time the Most High mentioned the new moon, he mentioned the Sabbath. The new moon and the Sabbath are synonymous. They are the same. They are the same thing. You're never going to hear Saturday, because there was no fucking Saturday back then. There was no fucking calendar back then that we went by. There was no Saturday. There was no Sunday. I want you to know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are all names of Greek gods. And that's and even the months of the year are names of Greek gods. That shit did not exist. Okay? So when you say Tuesday, and you keep mentioning Tuesday, you're worshiping a Greek god. When you say Monday, you're worshiping a Greek god. When you say January, you're worshiping a Greek god. Okay, we didn't have these things. We didn't have names for days. We had numbers. This is why the Most call it the 7th day, the 5th day, the 4th day. He didn't say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Okay? Now, and I'm going to show you that every time he mentions the new moon, he's going to mention the fucking Sabbath. Okay? Understand that. This is Numbers 28 and 10. And it says, this is the burnt offering of every Sabbath, beside the continual burnt offering and his drink offering. Then it says, and in the beginnings of your months, you shall offer a burnt offering unto Yahweh, 2 young bullocks and 1 ram and 7 lambs of the first year without spot. And that is for the new moon. Okay? Now this is number 28:11. Then it said, then at the beginning of each of your months, You shall present a burnt offering unto Yahweh, 2 bulls and 1 ram, 7 male lambs, 1 year old without defect. And this is Numbers 1. And it said, also in the day of your gladness, and in your appointed feasts, and on the first days of your month, you shall blow the trumpets over your burnt offerings, and offer the sacrifices of your peace offerings, and they shall be as a reminder of you before Yahweh. I am your power and your God. So he says, and in the first day of your months, which is the new moon, okay? Psalms 81:3. Blow the trumpet at the new moon, at the full moon on our feast days. When do we blow the trumpet? On the first day of the month? Okay, let's go back to Numbers 1. Also in the days of your gladness, and in your appointed feasts, and on the first day of your month, you shall blow the trumpet over your burnt offerings, and over the sacrifices of your peace offerings, and they shall be as a reminder of you before Yahweh. Now let's go back to Psalms 81:3. It says, blow the trumpet at the new moon, which is the first day of the month, at the full moon on our feast day. Then it says, then at the beginning of each of your months, which is the full moon, which is the new moon, you shall present a burnt offering to Yahweh, 2 bulls, 1 ram, 7 male lambs, 1 year old without defect, and 3/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with oil for a grain offering for each bull, and 2/10 of fine flour mixed with oil for a grain offering for the 1 ram, and 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with oil for a grain offering for each lamb, for a burnt offering of a soothing aroma, and offering by fire to Yahweh thy power. And this is 1 Chronicles 23:30. They are to stand every morning to thank and to praise Yahweh, and likewise at evening to offer all burnt offerings to Yahweh on the Sabbaths, new moons, and feast days, in the number set by the ordinance concerning them, continually before the Lord, before Yahweh. So every time you hear it, you're going to hear Sabbath, new moon, Sabbath, Sabbath, new moon. And the reason why you're going to keep hearing it like that is because the new moon ain't nothing but a Sabbath day. It's called the new moon because it's the beginning of the month, which is the first and the 7th day. It's the beginning of the month, so they call it the new moon. But if there was more than 29.5 days in a month, it would bump into the 7th day. So after the 7th day, it starts over for the new moon, which makes it the first day. 6 days after that is the Sabbath. 7 days after that is the Sabbath. 7 days after that is the Sabbath. And 6 days after that is the new moon, which would be the Sabbath. It's still the Sabbath. Okay, now, this is 2 Chronicles 2:4. It said, behold, I am about to build a house for the name of Yahweh my God, dedicating it to him, to burn fragrant incense before him, and to set out the showbread continually, and to offer burnt offerings morning and evening, on Sabbaths, and on new moons, and on the appointed feasts of Yahweh our power, this being required forever in Israel. Early, what you mean I can't cuss and read the Bible? You know what a curse is? See, you gotta see, and this is what I'm talking about our people not being learned. We're unlearned, okay? A curse is when I pray to Yahweh and ask him to do something to somebody. When I ask him to bring wrath upon somebody, that's called a curse. What you hear me saying when I say motherfucker, shit, goddammit, that's called profane language. That's not a curse. And there's nothing wrong with it, because Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai used profane language. Peter cussed and flipped tables, used profane language. And he was one of the disciples. So don't tell me about no profane language. Okay? If you want to learn, learn. But don't try to teach me, because I'm the teacher today. Okay? Christianity gonna get y'all killed. You need to try to learn and stop taking your ass to church on Sunday. Let me get back to this shit. I'm trying to show you what the Sabbath day is. You trying to teach me when you don't know shit. Okay, man. This is 2 Chronicles 8 and 12. And it says, Then Solomon offered burnt offerings to Yahweh on the altar of Yahweh, which he had built before the porch, and did so according to the daily rule, offering them up according to the commandments of Moses, for the Sabbaths, the new moons, and the 3 annual feasts, the feast of unleavened bread, the feast of weeks, and the feast of booths, and the Sabbath. And let me tell you something. And Passover, these feast days, where did they fall on? They started on the new moon, which is Sabbath. This is Nehemiah 10 and 32. We also placed ourselves under obligation to contribute yearly 1/3 of a shekel for the service of the house of our power, for the showbread, for the continual grain offering, for the continual burnt offering, the Sabbaths, the new moons, for the appointed times, for the holy things, for the sin offerings, to make atonement for Israel, and all work of the house of our power. Did you hear that? Every time it said new moon, it said Sabbath, because they are synonymous. They are the same thing. Have you ever brought in a feast day and it did not fall on the new moon? You did not bring in the feast day. If you ever called yourself bringing in the Sabbath or keeping the Sabbath, and it did not fall according to the lineup of the lunar cycle of the new moon, the original calendar that Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua gave us in Genesis 1 and 3, that's the original calendar. Okay, if it did not fall there, you did not keep the Sabbath. So it's a lot of y'all that keep Sabbath every Saturday. That's in Israel. There's a lot of y'all keep it every Friday. You're going off because you cannot keep the Sabbath every Friday or every Saturday, because Esau and the Most High keep time different ways. They add it up, it's calculated differently. How you gonna end up in the same spot if you got one person saying that a day is 24 hours, and then you got the Most High saying a day is only 12 hours? And then I just read you the scripture that says that a day is only as long as it's light outside. The scripture, Genesis 1:3. He said the evening and the morning was the next day. So when it becomes dark outside and the day is gone and there's no more light, that day is over with. This is why we bring in the Sabbath at sundown, because that day is over with and that's the beginning of a new day. Okay? Now, if you are a Christian and you go to church and you bring the Sabbath in Sunday, you are in error. If you come in, if you are an Israelite and you bring the Sabbath in every Friday or Saturday, you are in error, unless it ends, you keeping it on a day what according to the lunar cycle that it falls on a Friday or Saturday. Other than that, you are in error. You are in error. This is Ezekiel 45 and 17. It shall be the prince's part to provide the burnt offerings, the grain offerings, and the drink offerings at the feast, on the new moons, and on the Sabbaths. Do you hear that? At all the appointed feasts of the house of Israel, he shall provide the sin offering, the grain offering, the burnt offering, and the peace offering, to make atonement for the house of Yasharallah, which is the house of Israel. This is Ezekiel 46 and 1. Thus said Yahweh thy power, the gate of the inner court facing east shall be shut the 6 working days, but it shall be open on the Sabbath day and open on the day of the new moon. And I'm going to read you one more. Man, they all over the Bible. This is 1 Samuel 20 and 5. And it says, So David said to Jonathan, Behold, tomorrow is the new moon, and I ought to sit down to eat with the king. But let me go, that I may hide myself in the field until the 3rd evening. Did you hear that? This is Amos 8 and 5, saying, When will the new moon be over, so that we may sell grain, and the Sabbath, that we may open the wheat market to make the bushel smaller and the shekel bigger. So this man just asks, damn, when is the new moon or the Sabbath gonna be over with so we can make some money? Because guess what the Most High said? He said on the Sabbath day that you should not work or do no type of work. No cooking, no your maids can't work, no nothing. It is the day of rest. So this man just asks, and this is Amos 8:5. He said, when will the new moon be over so that we may sell grain so that he can make some money? And the Sabbath so that we may open up the wheat market. They want to hustle and make some money, but they can't because they'll be violating the day of rest, the Sabbath day. Okay? Hey man, look, man, I just want y'all to know, man, if you're keeping the Sabbath, you gotta keep it according to the new moon. Okay? That's the only way to do it. This is what the Most High, this is thus said Yahweh. Thus said the Lord. He said this. I didn't make this up. Okay, I just showed it to you. You can take it and do what you want with it. All right? You can keep on talking about, oh, the day is the Day of Atonement. Ain't no goddamn Day of Atonement. You're late. You missed the Day of Atonement. It was last month. It wasn't today. In fact, it was a month and a week ago. I know because I fasted that day. All of the house of Great Millstone kept it. Because we follow the Bible. We follow the true scriptures. We follow what the Yahweh, we follow thus said the Lord. We follow what the Most High say do. We try to keep the scriptures correctly to the best of our ability. We don't do what's popular. That's why they hate us. And that's why the Most High said, the remnant, he said, our numbers are as of the sand of the sea. So that means that it's a whole bunch of us out here. A whole bunch of us out here. Right? Okay, now if it's a whole bunch of us out here, you know, that's Israelites. Even people who you think might not be Israelites. They're here. Okay? Now, he said our numbers are the sand of the sea. He said, but only a remnant is going to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments. Only a remnant is going to make it to be the 144,000 and the 1/3, which is the elect. Now, ask yourself this. If you are in that group of people, which is a large number, damn near the whole world, is keeping Saturday and Friday Sabbath. And then you got the Christians, the other part, that's keeping Sunday Sabbath. If you're in that group, you're part of the majority. You're not part of the remnant. You're not part of the small amount. You're part of the fucking majority. And you're going to be destroyed. You're not going to make it. Because you're not even in that number. Okay? You got to be part of the few. You got to be set apart from the rest of the riffraff. Or else you're going to be destroyed. You know, if you care about your salvation, don't worry about how angry I sound. Don't worry about my tone of my voice. Worry about if I'm telling you the truth or not. Worry about if I'm proving what I'm saying through scriptures, which most of these cats can't do. You're not going to see one video on the internet, on Facebook, on YouTube, that's going to show you and prove to you that the Sabbath day is on a Sunday or a Saturday or any kind of day. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to prove it to you because there's no way to prove it to you. The only way for the Sabbath day to be proven is the way I just showed you, and that's through the new moon. You're not going to even be able to know what day you on unless you see the new moon. You can look up in the sky. You could be living in a box for a month, 2-3 months, and come outside. And if you see that new moon up there, you know it's the first day of the month. And from that day, you can start counting your days and measuring your days, and you'll know when the Sabbath is. And from that day, every sundown, you'll know this is the second day of the month. This is the third day of the month. This is the fourth day of the month. This is the fifth day of the month. And you'll be able to keep your time like that. But because we got all this technology, all you got to do is pull up the lunar schedule. You can see when the next 500 new moons going to be from right now just by judging 29.5 days. Okay? So, I mean, they're going to say, you're going to hear a lot of people talk about Great Millstone because this is what the Most High raised up people. He sent angels down here to put people to sleep because it's people that he don't want to know the truth, you know. And there's a lot of people ain't going to never get it. But the remnant, the true worshipers of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, they're going to get it. They're going to listen. They're going to go and research this. You know, and the reason why people don't research this is because they don't want to look like an outcast. They don't want to look like the one that's doing something different. They want to fit in with everybody. And those people are going off. They're going off. They're not keeping the truth. This is not the Sabbath day. You know. Yeah, get your moon out and you keep the Sabbath day like that. You know, if you go, man, look, I know people tell you that great millstone to say that we baby rapers and we this and we that. They're talking about us because they don't want you to know the truth. They don't want you to hear the truth, okay? One thing I want you to know is Yahweh has always dealt with one man. He's always dealt with one person on this planet. He never dealt with a bunch of people. He always dealt with one man. And that one man, he went out and did what the fuck Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai said to do. If he said go out there and say, thus said the Lord, and this is what we're going to do, that's what he did. You know? And he didn't deal with 80 people. He dealt with one man at a time. You know? Just think about it. Look in the scriptures and think about every time Yahweh dealt with somebody, it was just that one person at that time. And they went out. Yeah, men of valor is cool too. But, you know, they was taught by Great Millstone. Why go through a third party, you know, when you could just get it straight from the horse's mouth, man? Go to the elders, listen to the apostles, man. These people are the apostles of old, man, in the reincarnation, man. The Most High is dealing with them, you know, and only them, and they're putting this truth out there. And then we got the rest of these people that's going to talk bad about us when all we doing is bringing the truth. You know, they're going to say we baby rapers. They're going to say we was in motorcycle gangs. They're going to say all type of shit to try to get you not to listen to Great Millstone, because this is the work of the devil. They don't want you. They don't want you to come to the truth. They want you to be part of that majority, that popular majority that's going to be destroyed. They don't want you to make it. They don't want to see you make it. But I'm telling you, I don't chase people. If you want to know the truth, I'm going to put the truth out there. It's up to you to do what you're supposed to do. It's up to you to seek out that truth. If you don't, if you turn the channel, go straight, that's on you, man. Because you got to deal with, that's your salvation you playing with, not mine. You know, the scriptures say all I got to do is blow the trumpet and warn the people. They say, man, if I blow the trumpet and warn the people, and he bring the sword upon the land, and motherfuckers get caught slipping and they die in their iniquity, his blood is on his own head, because you blew the trumpet and you warned the people and they didn't take heed. So that's on them. Okay, so I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. He said if I didn't go out there and blow the trumpet and warn the people, and the sword came upon the land, and this man and these people die in their iniquity, that shit, they blood is gonna be on my hands, because he raised me up to come out here to blow the trumpet. You know what I'm saying? And that's why they call us watchmen, because we out here blowing the trumpet to let you know what's going to befall. That's why we're out here on the highways and the hedges. That's why you can't sit up on sit up on Facebook and do sit-downs all day. You got to hit the streets, and you got to preach, thus said Yahweh. And that's what the scripture said. He said, go out to the highways and hedges that my house may be full. So he want his elect, all his elect, you know, here, that they're not going to die that second death. He want them woke up, and it's our job to wake them up. Our job ain't to wake up everybody, you know. Our job is to wake up the elect. And being woke is knowing the full truth of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Being woke, not knowing that something going wrong. That's the Most High pouring his spirit out on you and taking you out that strong delusion, okay? When he took you out there, because we ain't in that delusion we was in 10 years ago. That shit is gone. We're conscious. Our people are conscious now, but everybody ain't woke. Okay, you got to wake up, man, because it's a lot of us that's still trying to hold on to these Gentile customs. You know, doing Gentile shit. You know, and you got to understand, man. It's important to try to keep the law the best of your ability. The Most High know you ain't gonna be able to keep it all. He knows that. You know, and I did a video just the other day about keeping the law. You know, the law alone ain't going to save you, man. Your faith in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai is what's going to save you. You know? You don't even know, man. We've been chosen a long time ago. The elect is going to wake up. You know? They're going to wake up. You know? And because the reason why they're going to wake up, because he said they will. And the reason why they're going to wake up is because he put us out here to wake them up. Okay? We're not going to miss. It's just what it is. I pray I'll be at that number, though. I'm not going to be proud and tell you I'm going to make it. I don't know if I'm going to make it or not, because the Most High use people the way he want to use them. You know, so what we're going to say is unrighteousness with the Most High? Same way he chose Jacob and didn't choose Esau and hated him. You know, that ain't unrighteous. He has his reasons. You know, he said, I will have mercy on who I will have mercy on. You know, so he basically what he's saying is, man, your goddamn business, do what I tell you to do. Go carry out my works and don't worry about the other part of it. You know what I'm saying? So basically, man, I'm going to sum this up. I'm not going to stay up on here all night, but I just want you to know you cannot judge the Sabbath day by Esau's calendar, period. You can only do it by the new moon, period. That's it, that's all. If you're not doing it by that, you're going off, and I mean, frankly, if you don't believe me and you don't do it, I don't care, because I'm going to keep the Sabbath according to the new moon. I'm never going to keep a Friday, Saturday every week, Saturday, or Sunday, Sabbath every week. Never. You know? That's like going to sleep, going back into the goddamn Matrix. I might as well cut my beard off and go eat me some motherfucking neck bones, some pork neck bones and some ribs and shit. You know? But anyway, man, I hope y'all got something out of this, man. If you didn't, that's on you, man. All I can tell you is go in there, man, and before you do, go pray to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai and ask him for understanding and ask him to show you the truth, you know. But if you don't get it, you don't get it. I don't care. That's on you. Fuck you. You know what I'm saying? And it's a reason why, you know. And before I just gotta say something else, man. Man, when people die, man, like they were talking about this girl, right? This girl, Kanika Williams, right? Okay, let me tell you something. The scriptures say that the Most High, he said, I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can escape my hand. So, while y'all running around here blaming the devil, yes, sir, while you running around here blaming the devil worked for the Most High, just like everybody else. He was created by the Most High, just like everybody else. He will get his ass fucked up, just like everybody else, by the Most High. Okay? So, I'm going to tell you just like this. If that girl got killed like that, she was wicked as hell, and the Most High killed her for a reason. I'm not going to second guess it. I'm not going to pray for her ass because she had it coming. I looked at her lifestyle, and she was not living a godly lifestyle. You don't know what she did 2-3 lives ago. The Most High put her to death, you know? And that's it. That's fuck. I hate to see our people go like that because I love our people. But if Yahweh did it, I'm not going to second guess it, and I'm not going to step on his toes. I'm going to be like, hey, he did it, he did it. See, I know he did it because he says he kills and he makes alive. He wound and he healed. So anything that happened to your ass, he did it. It's going to be ordained by him. Nothing happens on this planet without his say-so, unless he ordained it so. This is his world. He said, people say, well, God is love. Yeah, he loved and he hate. He said, is there any evil in the town? And I didn't do it. Come on, man. Y'all better wake up, man. Stay out these delusions, man, that these fucking religions is teaching y'all, man. You're going to learn that your God, that your power who created you, he is a man of war. And he is serious business and he is not playing. You see what he put us through. You see what the fuck kind of punishment he put us through. You better go read Deuteronomy 28 and learn why you doing, why shit going like it's going. You niggas keep on sitting up here fucking with religion and all these motherfuckers, all this bullshit, man. That shit is dead, man. That shit is dead. But, man, I'm not going to, I can go on and on, man. I want to give all praise and honor to Yahweh B'Shem, Yahweh Shai, and I would like to give double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, my elders, who rule well. You know? Yeah, exactly. And like I said, I want to give honors, double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, the elders, who rule well, the true men of the Lord. And I like to give honors to the Akim, that's out here pushing this truth and sincerity to the four corners. I don't give a fuck if you teaching false doctrine or not, because the Most High got us in place for a reason. Goddamn it, I learned false doctrine before I found the truth. I had to come through some bullshit ass shit before I got to the truth. So he used everybody for something. So yeah, I want to send honors out to the occupants out here pushing this truth and sincerity to the four corners of the earth. I want to say shalom, y'all.